Weibo Gaming more towards the meta. It's going to be that Jinx for Huanfeng once again.
Yeah, I think it makes sense with the information you know, right? Because even though you should assume that Scout plays Corki, because Scout has always been someone who's been able to play pretty much everything in the meta, he hasn't played it so far yet. So just be like, hey, we're going to take away the highest priority AD carry left open, and you're once again going to have to go into something a little bit more abstract, like the Ezreal, like the Jhin, something along those lines. Now, though, they do have a solid damage source in the mid lane, which gives them more options. But no, they're just going to go back to the Ezreal once again. Viper did have an amazing performance on it in game 1. And now the fact that he isn't the only major threat they need to worry about, EDG should be in for a bit of a better time.
I was going to say, we're now actually just building up for a poke comp, right? Corki, Ezreal, things like Jace run to my mind as a potential other pick on this.
Oh, 100%, right? EDG, they have some options, whether it's Jace or going with frontliners or things that can disengage him by space like the Gragas. But on the opposite side, Weibo are going to go with what works.
Yep.
Hey, we won in game 1. On had a solid performance in the Thresh. It was his best champion last year. TheShy still undefeated on this Gwen. And now for EDG, you can try and get a good matchup in top side now. Something like, you know, the Kennen or the Jace. Both of those do come to mind. Or you can try and match in that support role. This just shows how much more value EDG put in terms of their bottom lane, rather than trying to guarantee Flandre you know, a winning matchup.
But this does mean that we have no junglers picked up in this early stage. Like Sin, Jarvan, and like, you know, a lot's going to go to the wayside. I mean, SofM's Lee Sin, I would take that the hell out of his hands.
Look, I'm just saying, if there's two junglers that it doesn't really matter for, I feel like this is the two of them.
Good point.
We see like Jiejie going towards things with the Volibear, SofM. I mean, his most played is Trundle. I guess now it's Lee Sin after last game, but before that it was Trundle. Yeah. He has 2 games on the Zed. Heck, he played the Kazakhs. Like, SofM ain't scared of his jungle pool getting pinned.
That's a good point. So it must be why these teams aren't heading towards the bans on the jungles. We're getting the Veigar ban again. There must be something there that I don't know personally. Running in Chinese solo queue at the moment, maybe on the super server, maybe in scrims, but
I know I was talking to Ox about this the other week, and you know, he thought, because this is looking forward to where Veigar gets some buffs as well, but even just in his current state, that Veigar can be a pretty solid answer in this meta. And it seems like in terms of solo queue or scrims, that teams have been busting this out.
Yeah, so going to see another ban of it, but I want to point out as well that Jace we're talking about before has actually been banned by Weibo Gaming. The Graves taken away from Flandre as well. Looks like EDG won't ban away any of the junglers that we were talking about before. Instead, take away SofM's Lee Sin. But you're right, Lyric. There could be a fun response to this. What's good against Lee Sin that SofM would pull out?
I mean, you still have, you know, the meta junglers, right? We actually surprisingly have... We've only seen 2 games of the Xin Zhao come out so far for SofM, but, you know, it's still there. Now I'm a bit surprised we didn't see the Victor, but this makes a lot of sense why we don't. You take the Orianna, you want to bring out the Hecarim as well. When they're playing this long-range poke composition, right, getting someone who can get on that enemy backline makes a ton of sense. Last game, you were very much relying on or Angel looking for a flash combo to lock someone down. Now it will be a bit easier to find those fights. And now for EDG, we're looking at top laners. Things that do well in the Gwen that are still have to open, the Renekton, which they're hovering now. The Kennen could also be an answer, but you'd be way too AP heavy. So they are just going to opt into the Renekton in the end. Have a giant meat shield to absorb some of the damage coming out from the side of Weibo.
I was going to say go all in, maybe an anti-top again. Be nice here. Right, logic is definitely on the side of EDG at this point. Hey, Renekton gets locked in. Again, I think you've been talking about the comps really nicely. Poke here from EDG. Weibo Gaming 5v5 Lyric, is it simple to say, like, that?
Yeah, 100%, right? I mean, you look at their composition. Like, whenever champions like Orianna and Hecarim come back into the meta, it is obviously way more, like, ultimate-centric. It's way more about the I'd say, like, a good formation coming into your 5v5. You can't leave open flanks. You can't try and come in from numerous angles. You're definitely looking to fight in unison as a group.
Okay. Well, I'm keen to see because it was Angel. It was Angel against FPX. We just showed highlights of it before. Angel's Orianna with the 4-man, 3-man shockwave. If you guys missed out on those clips, missed out on the series, go back. Because Angel's Orianna shockwaves was sublime. Seeing another Hecarim through here as well, partnered up with it. It's a very good look for Weibo Gaming, especially after game number 1 where they beat down the world champions of 2021, took themselves a nice start to this series. And they close it out, though. This time around, EDG have got a bit more poke to land with Viper. It ain't all about him as a damage source. Flandre will buy that space, and Scout and Viper are going to be firing away. Weibo Gaming break the gap, the series over in an instant. If not, we go the full distance, and you guys get more of this great League of Legends. Welcome back to the LPL. If you're joining us for the first time, all I can say is, hope you stay a while. Lyric, gonna see. Go! Okay. Well, welcome in. I tried to hold that back. I'm so sorry. But I failed.
So Angel definitely playing this matchup for a bit more domination than we saw earlier in the day. Coming out from Cream is going the Aerie, so looking to aggressively trade in those 1v1s. You do have the ability to try to win off range advantage with, you know, QW trade patterns. And now I just want to see if Scout can replicate what Yagao did earlier. Because despite the fact that there's a Renekton in top side, or that maybe you could try and punish Orianna and blow a flash, I think for EDG, especially with the Ezreal Karma, we're still looking at the bot side. We're going to see if Huanfeng and On can do their best to survive the onslaught once again. And speaking of onslaughts, what can SofM do? Because SofM will be the one player with a very easy time of getting onto this backline. I think in teamfights, Viper and Meiko going to consistently have to be very scared.
Going for a bit of an invade to start the game off, though. And SofM, not sure what he's leveled up for now. It's a 3 versus 3, guys. But look, Angel's going to have the first move if anything happens. But it's a level 1 Orianna. What does it matter? Wait, TheShy's here. TheShy's here. Wait, laning has started and TheShy is not in it again.
So TheShy hovering around mid, just in case this invade comes out on bot side, it does. It actually ends up, I think, being the difference maker in terms of EDG feeling like they need to back off. They're so strong in that level 1, right? Because you have that consistent range and poke coming out from the Ezreal and the Karma. Now they're going to have to back off, though, but TheShy going to be behind in terms of EXP.
Yep.
Definitely going to have to worry about Flandre hitting that level 2 power spike first.
That's the cost. I like that you pointed out that deters the invade and gets the rest of Weibo Gaming on an easy sword. However, bottom lane hits level 2 versus On. Lands the hook, but there's no flay to bring him in. And look at that. Viper lands all but one Mystic shot. And Weibo Gaming's bottom lane look like they're practically out of the lane already.
You know, I was just scrolling through Twitter before this game. I believe it was Shattered Front. I believe that's his handle on Twitter, who pointed out anytime Viper's on the Rift, you can pretty much just tweet out that Viper's the best player in the world. With just how impressive he looks. And it's true as TheShy.
Yeah, flash from Flandre comes through. The ghost was burned by TheShy. All he needs is a snip, gets a partial true damage shot on Flandre on the way out. But that's a very good sign, especially since TheShy came to lane late.
Yeah, I think that's phenomenal. Both junglers also are on the top side now.
The flay comes through on Meiko. There's no minion wave. Ignite comes through. Huanfeng wants his first kill, wants first blood. The Ignite won't tick over, and there's no zap to follow through either. Huanfeng with a trapped second, and Weibo Gaming's bottom lane. They fight back after getting bullied out.
Huanfeng not wanting to overcommit with the flash there to try and finish it off because Meiko still had his flash as well. Definitely a decent choice. Now we're going to see if On can keep landing these hooks, but once the hook misses, Viper sees the opportunity of, hey, there's no ability to bring a turret. Ease in for the aggressive trade.
Just a different breed of Ezreals, isn't it? Being able to arcane shift forward, knowing you have no threat. Huanfeng and On sent packing out of the wave. And even though there was a really good hook from On, and props to On here in this series, who's having a good time, Weibo Gaming's bottom lane still have to back off, and Viper and Meiko assert dominance once again. However, Lyric, EDG, while that's being comfortable, they're going to try and make a play on the top side and get all lanes running at once.
Yeah, I expected this to happen, right, with the heavy trading coming out in the early levels.
Wave, got him, and he's down. Down and out. TheShy, first blood, and Jiejie quick to the punch.
I mean, when you have that level of trading coming out in early levels and both junglers pathing towards topside, right, it definitely feels like the lane is going to be made by which jungler can find the influence in the lane first. Jiejie being the one able to do that this time around as SofM just makes his way towards that Scuttle Crab. We'll be able to get back out onto the map first and see if he will be able to find anything. We need to remember, though, that we highlighted that for Weibo, it definitely feels like they're way more indexed into playing this later on, into wanting the 5v5 objective fights. So when things like Rift Herald come online and the later Dragons is really when we're going to see them at full force. Heck, you can even see it here with the fact that Huanfeng goes towards the Cull and knows his job is just to get as much gold as possible.
Try and stay safe in this lane because now that they've come back, full health bars exist.
Wait a second, Hysterics.
What is it, man?
Look at those item slots. 5 control wards.
Oh.
Any coach's dream.
Dude, anyone from solo queue are lesson learned, right? 5 control wards, and again, like, it was like the last series. You and I are talking about how Vision kind of made the game, and I think it was the second game.
Yeah, it was Jiejie. It was Jiejie G choking out OMG from being able to enter things like bot side
a control ward
or
did
dragons.
It. Like, you know, one control ward to define the game, and Vision's important, and people take it as a cop out, but it really makes games, especially in competitive play. So I like that you point out the control wards there. We've only got 2 from Weibo Gaming. That means they are suboptimal in your eyes. Hey, I also want to point out while we're giving criticism, almost a 1k gold lead. EDG are leading this game. CS lead through bot, CS leading the top side, and that first blood over to the Renekton as well in Flandre. So EDG is starting this early game off a lot stronger than what we saw in game 1.
And for EDG, they're also fine with a little bit less volatility. Obviously, especially on this bottom side of the map, where in isolated 2v2, Viper and Meiko just can win out if they are consistently dodging those death sentences. And, you know, even to Viper's credit of how aggressively he's playing, right? Really benefiting his first strike, where, sure, when you're hitting an ability, you're getting 5 gold. Meiko!
Maybe. Don't think so. Mantra Inspire, Mantra in a Fire comes through. Huanfeng still has both summoners available there. He's hitting Ignite on as well, but Meiko has the same deal as this topside dive. We switch to camera pan. TheShy has the ultimate available, but against the wall, Jiejie might not have pick. He's surviving though. Needlework helping out. It's a Gwen who just picked up the level 6 now SofM with the counter gank and Flandre. Instant regret. You dive TheShy and you get Might Shy back.
The amount of healing Gwen has will always be spectacular. I was watching the minimap. I thought SofM would be way too late to the play, but it doesn't matter, he's able to buy time. But this bottom lane is rough.
It really is, man. And while the dive at the top side goes horribly wrong, bottom side in the 2v2, the innate dive there has gone horribly right against Weibo Gaming twice now. Viper and Meiko are busting it wide open. It's a 20 CS differential. Oh, and that was a Hex Flash, right? I believe it was. Yes, it was. I think it was. Yeah, I'm just going to say yes until someone proves me wrong.
You know, another point I also wanted to bring up earlier was the fact that, right, with First Strike, like, sure, you get 5 gold off of the initial poke, but a lot of the gold you're getting comes from the following damage. I believe for range, it's 70% of the bonus damage you deal is what you get back in gold. So the fact that Viper is instantly recognizing, like, hey, death sentence is down, I'm going to E4 aggressively, get off as much damage as possible, also bringing him in some nice money.
I think that was his real flash. I think that was his real flash. Okay. Well, apparently they had a laugh about it as well. A pro view time. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, his real flash came up. He thought it was Hex. Oh, my God. It was real. No. No.
You know, I figured we would get a replay of it, so I was waiting to find out and enjoy it to the utmost fullest.
Oh, my God. It was real.
You know, the LPL observers are always very cheeky with those sorts of things.
Thanks, guys. We got it. We got it. I'm gonna regret that, and laugh at the player cams as well. So a bit unfortunate here, especially with how the lane's going and that flash having so much use in the lane itself. But hey, Lyric, we come back to live. I want to point out that I believe Jiejie has just picked up the Rift Herald on the top side. That is correct. Scout's got the package as well. There's a dragon that's spawned, but no one's touched it for the time being. And I just like that we came into today talking about how Weibo Gaming are focusing on top side. Their Herald, percentage is one of the highest in the league. EDG making adaptations in the second game to shut down any remnants of a play towards the top lane.
Yeah, it was nice to see the teamwork in unison. I'm going to pause, as SofM might be able to find Flandre. He does have Flash and Dominus available.
Yeah, Onslaught of Shadows is there. Now, Dominus with Flash makes it pretty hard. You're right. Andre going to be spotting into this brush, and SofM, as he now gets spotted out himself, will just back away. So, dive negated, and Flandre stays comfortable.
I feel like for EDG, you now have a very obvious plan. You just saw Hecarim make your way down towards bot side. You have the Herald. You can very easily drop that, even try and get bot third outright, and then turn that into a dragon.
Oh, he's back. Oh, Voldemort's back. Flandre. Flash has already been burned. The slice and dice. Onslaught of Shadows sends him downward and gives it to TheShy. hand-picked, hand-delivered, and Weibo Gaming know that it's in cost of the bottom lane.
Tries to get the most amount of distance possible, flashes forward to be able to try to E through SofM, get the second E, but SofM held on to the ultimate to get the fear going. EDG, though, are making the counterplay in bot. They will be able to get first turn off of this, also transition this into a dragon. So I feel like the fact that Weibo haven't been able to find as dominant of an early game last time has allowed Viper and Meiko to come online to their fullest.
Well, Lyric, I was just going to say, because of that play, SofM now hovers down to help out. Gold's at 1,300. Herald opens up Viper's lane. He has 103 CS. The only person close to that is Angel, who, more than close, he's actually over it on the Orianna in the mid lane. So right now for EDG, they've got the Herald, they've placed it down, they've got the Dragon. That's in their back pocket too. A much stronger early game. And it's going to go against the stat, isn't it, Lyric? You know, Weibo Gaming, 100% win rate, went ahead at 15. Well, if you're not ahead at 15, then I guess Weibo Gaming don't win.
No, they've lost. I mean, all their losses have been games where they fall behind in an early game and they aren't able to find an avenue back into the game. Yep. Like you highlighted Angel, though, because we need to remember, if you've been watching all day, we saw earlier in the day Yigao and Cream playing this matchup. Yigao was on the Corki, and he actually was completely dismantling Cream. Nice to see Angel come in, have a much better time in the laning phase, where I do believe Orianna shouldn't struggle against Corki. And again, you do have some favorable trade patterns, but, you know, so far, mid lane hasn't really meant all too much. And with the side lanes open, this is where EDG are going to feel so much comfort. You're definitely going to win contests over mid wave, so you're always going to be the ones who can very easily transition into river and play around either side of the map. It does seem like for now, we'll be top, since that is where the next turret is.
And he has no flash. He's got the dominance again, so Flandre is going to be in deep water. But it depends on TheShy hitting the needlework, slowing him down the way, pushing against him. SofM may be thinking twice about the dive. He's going to hold for now, but Jiejie and Meiko on the way up. This could turn bad.
Yeah, SofM have an awkward place. This would only be a 2v2, though.
Well, actually, maybe Jiejie's one in the awkward place. Meiko's still not there. Sonic Wave's there. A lot of damage onto Jiejie. SofM backing off himself, but it's into the enemy jungle. Who's he going to run at? Into Meiko, into Viper, into the Dark Passage. Yep, get out of there. On saves the day.
On, able to bring SofM to safety. Nothing too volatile going to happen just yet on the map. And I feel like the fact that we're still a few minutes out from objectives coming up, you're feeling relatively unpressured as the side of Weibo, because even though EDG do have that push in mid that we talked about, can use that
ulti.
Side.
Meiko flashes away, but he still gets feared by the onslaught of shadows. TheShy jumps on in. He wants yet another kill. Shielding comes through. Needleworks all run out, but a snip. With a cute little, There you go, guys. 3-1, Shockwave onto Angel. Jiejie with a kick flash. That was instantaneous. Scout joins in as Angel flashes away. The grand escape from the Orianna is the dodge away from the Sonic Wave. Angel! This is why his Orianna's gorgeous, and he's having a hell of a time in the mid lane at the moment.
Really great play coming out from Angel. Weibo also trying to capitalize on the mid lane for the fact that Meiko was down. Oh, does it hit?
Dodges away. Lyric, that was so clean from Angel, dude. That was beyond clean. I'd use bleach on toilets that don't do as good of a job as that.
We're going to see here what happened in bot side. Okay, it's actually what we literally just saw on our screens. Also wanted to highlight, we see Meiko 2 games in a row getting caught out while trying to aggressively walk into the enemy jungle. You can see just the muscle memory of playing on these tank supports, where he is more freely able to do that. Also want to highlight Viper going for the Essence Reaver, so he probably might see the Crown of the Shattered Queen build come out. That is typically what you go for. Early Spellblade, Huanfeng.
Thought Jiejie was going to follow into that. He wanted it. To send Huanfeng back, but of course the kick flash already burnt before in the previous trade. So at this point, Lyric, we're just building up, aren't we? Next Herald's coming in 20 seconds. EDG are already in the top side river, and the Weibo Gaming nowhere nearby. No vision control, so this one's going to be given up while Flandre keeps whacking away at the turret. But I wonder if Weibo Gaming come up to contest or set up for Dragon instead. There's options here for Weibo. And there's gold. It's not too far out of their reach. Only 500 in the lead for EDG.
I like that you hit on options, right? Because I feel like with CC comes more options in terms of how you can play out, having more of a front line than the opposing side, to where for EDG, we've been seeing them not really able to capitalize on the mid lane pressure they have, because you can't really just walk in and find picks as easily as if you have a Thresh or if you have a Hecarim. So they need to rely on what they're doing now, which is waiting for neutral timers to come up, just cement their control of mid lane, walk into river first, and just lay down poke. So pretty much same plan as last game, just this time around them having the Corki as well as the Ezreal to be able to do more, and even seeing Viper change up his build, right? Because last time Viper went press the attack into Triforce, this time he's going First Strike, Essence Reaver, and Crown of the Shattered Queen, so a bit of adaptation coming out from EDG this time around overall.
And remember as well, the Twist of Fate fell flat in game number 1. This time with the Corki, even if it doesn't really get off the ground running, eventually it's going to scale into that behemoth that makes it a first stage bannable. As EDG dropped the Herald in the mid lane. Now notice the Corki package is there. Ocean Dragon now live as well. Mantra for a bit of movement speed. Flandre going back up to the top side, but folks, he has teleport. Angel does as well, hence while being in the side lane. In EDG, they just picked up the Herald. They're first on this next objective as well. They'll have double Dragon to start off this game number 2. And a Herald that can bust open one of these tier 1s.
I'm really surprised Weibo are contesting this.
Guys in the middle. And Scout's jumping on, as well as Sonic Wave, but luckily, Gwen is immune.
No package now.
And On's going forward with the Hex Flush, but Herald's in the way. Excuse me, that's the Scuttlecrave. SofM going in. He can't steal it. He runs out with the Onslaught of Shadows. And meanwhile, Angel doesn't want a TP to the play. They give over the Dragon, but Angel wants to make the gold trade here with the topside turret.
This is what made me think that Weibo weren't going to contest, right? Because Angel was playing so aggressively far forward. He was pretty much in Flandre's face. If Angel wanted to TP, there would probably be no chance. Flandre would have an angle to slice and dice and cancel it with his W. So Weibo wanting to be a little bit cheeky by not committing to a full-on fight, but just have SofM try and steal it away. They still are able to answer on the top side of the map, so I think not an overwhelming loss for them. And hey, guess what? They're back in the gold.
Yeah. If only,
actually, might be their first time in the gold.
I mean, if only by a little bit, right? 200-300 gold, if even that. So, game holds by a thread once again, and we'll have to wait for the next dragon. It is a Hextech Soul, guys. As Lyric said at the start, we're all glad that Chemtech's gone. There's no one in chat or in society. You know, you walk past someone on a train and you ask them if you're happy Chemtech Soul's out of the game. They'll say yes. So at this point, Hextech, we still get the Hex portals that Jace from Arcane made. And Lyric, I think the biggest thing is when we know that there's Renektons in the game, Hecarims. I'm trying to think about who else is dangerous at a flank. You know, Gwen. Hex, this makes it interesting is what I'm trying to say.
Yes, it definitely does, right? And we've definitely seen some interesting ways of using the Hex portals a few times. But we've also seen some interesting ways. So, yeah, for Weibo, I think could be massive. And just getting static Shiv Dragon in general is really fun. But look at the mini map around mid lane. Looks like Jiejie, I'm sorry, was trying to find an angle to get a kick on.
They're diving him. SofM's going in to knock Scout back. He goes for a bit of a run, and Scout has nowhere to go. He flashes, but the Onslaught of Shadows waits for it, and Angel picks up the kill. Weibo Gaming so deep here, though, in EDG. They want to come back and slap him even harder. Shockwave, though, brings Jiejie in, and Angel sticks around to play. Teleport brings in Might Shy as Meiko flashes away from the Chompers, and Weibo Gaming are at it again. Flandre stays mid, but Weibo got the pick, and they forced everyone up on their shot.
Yeah, it looks like Scout just wasn't expecting for the dive to be able to come out. Heck, most of EDG's members were still hovering around mid with the amount of committal that would take. I'm just assuming that they wouldn't be crazy enough to look for it. Still able to survive, though, especially with the fact that TheShy committed his TP there to dissuade any follow-up engage coming out from the other members of EDG.
Lyric, when you said wouldn't be crazy enough, I think then EDG need to do research, because of course they're crazy enough. You're in our jungle, get out. SofM running at him once again, and I think crazy is how I would define this team in its current standing. They're a team that, you know, Lyric, they're not like IG. We're not talking about IG recreated, but they're a team with, you said at the opening segment, they're very individualistic, and they build their synergy based on how good one player is versus another.
Also, SofM waiting in the wings, so I thought he was spotted on the wave. He wasn't. He was just waiting back. Pops the go, sets up for the easy dive to be able to come out. Yeah. But I like that you highlight, this team's not IG. Because you look at how the IG members have scattered, right? So we're looking now at Weibo, V5, and IG, and I feel like each of them are better off for it. I feel like both Rookie and TheShy are better off, and I feel like even IG's a team. Like, sure, maybe you have worse individual players, but now you have younger players and you can grow an identity. So kind of nice to see that how that has panned out for everyone, including TheShy.
That's right. I mean, TheShy is reinvigorated. Good damage from Viper. You're pointing out the damage from Viper and having a bit of a reaction because he's got the fully stacked Mirror Mana now. 2 items there on Scout too, so we are getting to more dangerous and more serious poke. The EDG might give us a showcase of that soon. They're around the Baron side, forcing out Angel to go back. Lyric, while I talk about items, I also want to point out Huanfeng has the rapid fire cannon now, and he needs to sell that cost. So here's at 2 items strong, and Elder Flame just picked up, Shadow Flame just picked up by Angel. Shy's close to a Nash's too, so we are in 2-item territory. 30 seconds before the Dragon spawns. What do you want to see? Who should I be looking out for this one? Because we're at even gold game pretty much.
So, I think we're going to see a bit of what we've been seeing in terms of EDG are going to get pressure through mid. For the side of Weibo, you're going to have to rely on getting pressure through sides. Okay. You can theoretically try and bring SofM off on a side. You do have vision up towards the top half of the map, but TheShy's not here, so we're going to be looking at Weibo to see if they can find an angle in, maybe through that bottom lane.
Oh my god, that was close. That hook on Viper, you can see on an inch to the left, and it would have connected. Viper wasn't expecting his true shot barrage. Nails down on Huanfeng. The 80 carries low. The poke lands, and this is another condition you were talking about. EDG just need to land their poke and keep the space between Weibo Gaming. Weibo can't get the engage, and now Soul Point secured. EDG 1 away from getting the Hex Tech Soul and giving them pretty good face for game number 2.
Yeah, so what we saw was exactly how Weibo shouldn't be looking to play these fights, right? Just posturing in front of them, looking to enter.
Viper, be careful. SofM on the charge. Look at him flash away from Viper. Ultimate misses, though. SofM missed the ulti with the onslaught of shadows, the onslaught of nothing. Shockwave comes through, though. It's a 2-man, and Flandre goes down with Viper coming back in. TheShy with the needlework, almost the range to hit Viper in the end. He's running forward, sniffing under turret like he just doesn't care. Weibo, even after the failure of an engage, gets the top laner close to getting the mid lane turret. The hook connects onto Jiejie. On is switched on. Once again, true shot barrage hits, but not the core target.
And Weibo continuously find ways to get the picks. Flandre pretty much gave them that first one, but On coming in clutch for the second. Gonna continue to grow that gold lead. We're quickly seeing a very different dynamic take place, right? For EDG, it's all about these dragons winning mid-wave contests, getting on objective first. For Weibo, it's about finding picks. We see what they're going for here. Viper playing very far forward, not able to get it, and then has to get away with the ulti. But then, Flandre, TP in. There is a Thresh on the side. Heck, even if SofM didn't have to waste his ulti, right? Could have been going into a bit of harm's way. And then for Weibo, feeling confident with the numbers advantage that they can pressure this turret. Jiejie trying to walk forward to pressure them off, but On has not been missing today.
Dude, he heard we were talking smack, and he came back and he said, boys, hold my beer. I don't know what's in the coffee cups, but I'll tell you what, today is a good brew. Lyric 2K gold lead. Weibo Gaming maybe against Soul Point, but now they've got the gold lead, and they're starting to accrue these core items to talk about. The Nash is picked up in the top side. And a Morellonomicon well and truly on the way with the Oblivion Orb from TheShy. He picked up that last kill. He's 4-1 with a bounty. Look mid 2. Angel picking up a bounty too. Now, Lyric, I didn't see that damage chart, but I'm sure TheShy is in 35% at this point.
For anyone who hasn't been watching us harp on this all day, TheShy undefeated on Gwen so far. Not too surprising, and looks like it might keep true. I mean, it could all change, right? For EDG, you're kind of waiting out the next 2.5 minutes. For EDG right now, Angel might walk into this.
Soren, though. Good command attack here. On top of Scout as well. Shockwave comes in, but it's on top of the Valkyrie. Angel still wants to follow up with a couple more airy procs at the ready. SofM is on the wing. Onslaught of Shadows available as True Shot Barrage won't get him. Good little dodge and sidestep from the mid laner of Weibo Gaming. And Lyric, even though they're in the lead, even though they have control, they're not stopping this aggression. They keep going forward.
I love that Weibo also realized the fact that their only frontline is the Renekton, who's on the opposite side. Like, sure, I guess, you know, Jiejie is a pseudo frontline as well, right? Yeah. But they can more aggressively walk into the enemy jungle, look for these picks. and you know, try and put a fire under EDG, because EDG, when they were in the lead, can't do the same. And we saw what happened when they tried to do the same with Meiko being picked off, or Meiko having to burn a flash. So Weibo doing a nice job of utilizing the difference in the champions they've picked, right?
Yep.
Again, having more CC, having tankier champions to force these plays more aggressively.
And we're kind of seeing what they can do when they get these crucial picks right. As TheShy's in enemy jungle versus Flandre, Gwen just says thank you for the blue. Flandre can't stop that with Weibo Gaming running down, and it's only a 7-kill game, but it's about to exploit in further. Viper again, Onslaught of Shadows there, SofM under a turret. Will he regret this though? True Shot Barrage dodged away from Huanfeng, takes Meiko. Flandre goes in for the dive under his own turret as TheShy with the needlework once again, flying through the skies. The top laner from IG assimilating and making this team his own.
Weibo picking up 2 kills.
Oh,
turn it
again!
on!
Shockwave comes through and Jiejie's in the bounce house. 9-2 Lyric. 9-2 against the world champions. Weibo Gaming are about to skyrocket to the top.
Once again, on finding the hook. Jiejie, you kind of gave it to him, but on, you capitalized. 40 seconds away from the dragon, which feels like where the game will be decided. We're going to see here, though, of a bit of an overcommit coming out for Weibo. You can see, hey, you know, he has the ghost, he has the speed to be able to look for this dive instead of having to run away. Nice, though, by Huanfeng flashing forward to finish off Meiko, so they are at least able to get the 1-for-1. And then TheShy here, guaranteeing they're able to pick up a nice second kill.
Again, feels like a new man on Gwen.
The Corki wasn't there the whole time. Scout was not there.
And now we're in another fight. SofM is very fast, very scary with the package. Scout even pulling back. Note, folks, that Angel is low, though. And EDG Lyric talked about this, even though their 4K got behind, they're getting their poke off right in front of their soul point. Lyric is a Hextech Dragon, EDG is through there. Package lines the river. TheShy waiting to go past, and he does. SofM in his back a bit nice and early on top of Jiejie. They want to kill the jungler of EDG. TheShy goes in once again, Onslaught of Shadows, gorgeous! And now the poke comes through. Weibo Gaming blowing them up. TheShy with the shockwave. It's actually Angel, excuse me. They miss it, they deny it, but EDG are sent flying. In the end, Weibo get 1, but they stopped the play in its tracks after everything was used.
Yeah, I mean, oh my god, that could have gone so many different ways, right? Had Angel's shockwave landed onto multiple members, bam, Weibo picks up more kills, turned into a Baron. Even Viper was laying down so much damage.
True.
If Weibo weren't able to disengage here at the end, feels like he could have just put out a massive amount. But still, you stopped the soul point. You're going to keep up your pressure, and we're apparently going straight into the replay of this one. I don't know if Package is about to time out or what, but Scout putting that one down to try and zone them out. TheShy says, I don't care. Gets the Orianna fall and presses forward, forces Flandre away. Bam! Onslaught of Shadows comes out to pick up that first kill. Jiejie was also feared, chunks him down low so he can't walk in. Viper was putting out a massive amount of damage, having to flash away from the shockwave.
Poke versus the engage. You've given it so clearly, and we've seen it so obviously in these fights. If SofM gets in, if Angel hits the shockwave, it all goes downhill. But Viper's poke is harsh to deal with. Scout as well, folks. Note that he's going to be getting close towards either a Void Staff or the Maw of Malmortius, depending on what he finishes first. That third item is well and truly on the way. So we'll wait again. The Soul was denied. EDG do not have the Hextech Dragon. Excuse me, the Hextech Soul, I should say. Baron's now up. Now, SofM's not in the river. Angel and TheShy are doing it by themselves, and Gwen has true damage.
Yeah, I mean, for Weibo, it looks like they should just be able to get this one. I don't know if EDG will be able to walk in on trying to zone.
They think
does
it's
have
only
play, does
started.
have the box available.
Box is down,
Here's
Trigger
the
Brush
box.
spots it out. Jiejie, too late to the party. Genius play from the solo laners. Weibo Gaming with Baron, and yet again in another game in this series, hold the roots to close it out.
I just can't believe that it looks like we're on the verge of seeing EDG not only lose, but potentially get 2-0.
That's right. They've only lost 2 games, you said, in the whole split. They're 5-0 in the standings. Weibo Gaming, they take this. They're flying straight to the top. We got a new sheriff in town at that point.
We're going to see if EDG can hold on up against this Baron push. They at least do a better wave clear in this game than they did last time around with Scout on the Corki. I also want to highlight the Duskblade coming out for Viper, so trying to index more into burst and the damage on his Q. This isn't a new Ezreal build, right? We saw this quite a bit last year whenever Ezreal was picked in terms of getting that mythic later online. There it is, the damage coming out from Viper, but still will be quite hard for the Ezreal to be able to clear this out. Huanfeng can walk forward aggressively and put down this damage.
Huanfeng is so confident with On at his side. The Baron minion doing its work though in the meantime though, and
Say it.
Viper's still,
He's such a Chad.
Yeah, well, okay, he's a Chad. But I think the whole of Weibo Gaming are acting very Chad-like. You walk through, they're definitely not being Bryans, are they? It's a Chad feeling from Weibo Gaming and EDG. They're the world champions. Of course their expectations are God tier. And at this point with Weibo Gaming dismantling them as they run into the base, just force it in. What other word can you use? Goodbye to the inhibitor turret. SofM looking for an angle to end this series in a 2-0. They might just stop there, though, with pressure from TheShy in the top lane, and the Baron buff continuing to do work.
Wow, that rocket from Scout, though, hit big, forcing him off.
He's just staying for it. Now to Flandre with a needlework in front of the whole team. TheShy wants one more. The whole team coming to support him, though. SofM with the onslaught of shadows. He helps out his top laner. EDG running for the hills. Weibo Gaming, you thought they were losing. No way. They're going to keep running in.
I said it last game, I'll say it again. The sustain from Gwen just... Man, I just don't know. The fact that he was surviving through all of that. Now they're going to be able to push, especially for the end.
Well,
your wave clear's gone.
I didn't think the world champions complete. 5-0 is where they stood, but Weibo Gaming came into this series, and they showed us that blood can be shed no matter how good you are at the game. EDG will take their first series loss as Weibo Gaming come on in and flush their new badge in the LPL. The Sheriffs, they're in town.
3 world finalists and 1 former world champion. I guess are superior to the current reigning world champions of League of Legends. It is absolutely insane that this happened. Weibo were on a good streak. They were definitely a top team. I don't know if I consider them good enough to beat EDG. EDG came in this series very, I'd say, distinct plan,